All right. So eBay, should you list every day? I disagree. I really disagree. Why? Well, because I don't think it's worth it financially. I don't care what anybody says. So all these people on the internet that say, oh, you better list every day or your store is not going to do anything. Well, I disagree. I disagree really a lot. Let's see. I hope everybody's having a good day today. I'll move this around a little bit. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to move this around a little bit. All right. That might work. Okay. Hey, how you doing? Good. All right. So here's where I'm at on the eBay thing. Those two guys are always talking on the internet about uh, list every day. But I'm telling you, I don't agree, and I'll tell you why. Back in the early 2000s on eBay, it was so much different. I mean, you could have 10 good listings, and you either sold the devil out of them or you didn't. Um, and the closer it came to the expiration of your ad, the more it sold. But now, no, it's all right. So now, it's changed so very much as the years have progressed in the early 2000s. So now what it does is everybody's saying, oh, you got to list all the time, list every day. But you have to bear in mind that you're paying 30 cents an ad. So we got the drawbridge over here. But anyway, so you're paying 30 cents an ad, and all that stuff adds up. Now, years ago, to have a store on eBay would cost you like 400 a month. Um, not counting their sales fees and PayPal fees and all that other stuff. And the problem with that, was back then I could rent an entire storefront for that. So it was, do it or don't kind of thing. And then, other sites came up and tried to compete with eBay and never really quite made it. Like I signed up on the eBid thing, which I'm still a lifetime member, and that was like $79 to sign up for the lifetime membership. Um, but I mean, I sold like one thing on there ever, all these years. I think there's only one thing I sold on there, maybe two. But it just didn't do much, and it's actually derived out of England, out of the UK. I mean, it gets better all the time, and it's cheaper now to be a lifetime member, but it's just not doing anything. eBay has always been kind of the go-to. It's made a lot of people mad from customers to sellers, but now it's changed a lot. It's actually a better investment than Etsy, um, all in all, because Etsy, uh, gets real expensive, and people don't see it enough, like they do on eBay. You know, so it's a tough call all the way around. Um, but today the big thing is, oh, you got to list every day. You know, um, to be seen and all that stuff. Well, I hate it for you because I just went from 800 listings in the last 30 days. And I mean, I work every day, hours and hours every day, photographing listing, and just getting everything I could up on the internet. The problem is it's very competitive today. There's a lot of people on there selling stuff, that you're selling like for $1. And I don't know why. Maybe they're just trying to sell their store out. Who knows? But it's tough. So you kind of have to wait around for those dollar ones to disappear till it gets up to you. So do you list it at the top price on the sold through price, or do you list it slightly below, or do you list it in the middle, to get it sold quick? Because the problem is you're going to pay 30 cents an ad every time it rolls over in 30 days. They've got a free thing now monthly where it's like 250 listings free. If they're just basic listings or basic auctions, they'll do that, but you still have to pay your fees, when it sells. So, it's a grave concern. So, I was skipping around on YouTube the other day, and I saw this girl that I've seen before, and she's like Australian or something, and she's flipped around doing. She did like clothes, and then she did shoes, and then she got tired of that, and then she decided to do books, and I'm like, why? I mean, books is kind of overdone. There's a couple that's on a YouTube vlog about how they made tons of money selling books on Amazon and eBay. But here was their biggest problem. They finally got out of it. They said it like took over their house. Then they were shipping it to Amazon, um, so they could store it in their warehouse. And then Amazon decided they were going to cut them back and say, we're just not going to store all your stuff anymore. Um, and the stuff's heavy, and you got to have a place to put it. Hey, what's going on, my friend? So, I mean, it's been done and overdone, you know. So, I just don't know why somebody would want to get into books. And this girl, she's like listing every day. And, I asked her, I said, I mean, are you doing it for a living? Or she's like, well, it's a hobby. So she's got one room in a house. She's changed all her racks and her setups and everything. And she's got books upon books upon books. Okay. And, she's like, I'm almost up to 5,000 listings. Well, I didn't even have to watch her vlog I saw the other day on YouTube. Okay. And it begins with like, she's in tears. And she's like, I can't take it anymore. It's too much work for me. Da 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 da. And I'm in pain. And this, that, and the other. Well, let me tell you why you're in pain. Because you're carrying books. You're carrying books, and you're carrying tons of books to the post office to ship them out. And it's going to hurt you. It will. I remember years ago, working on the road, dressing entertainers all across the United States, from California to Florida all year round. I graduated from little tiny rolling bags, and I'd have like 6 of them in the trunk, and they fit perfectly in my Cadillacs. And then I needed more because I would run out of clothes, and I'd have to drive all the way back home, and I might be in mid Florida, I might be in Texas, I might be to California, and I had no more stock, and I had to sew. And then, well, you got to bring patterns on the road. Then you got to buy another sewing machine. I can't tell you how many sewing machines I bought on the road because I had to. Now, I had a wedding gown I had to do for a girl. That was almost $1,000 contract. I was down at Walmart buying the best Singer sewing machine they had. Yeah, and I just it's just a nightmare. And so I went to bigger bags. Then I went to even bigger bags. And so I knew how many I could fit in the trunk, and I had one bag that was like gowns, one bag that was multi pieces, one bag that was makeup and accessories and jewelry. you know then I had garters. I put them on stringers like fish. All kinds of stuff. Then you got to have shoes, and I hated carrying shoes. God, they were the death of me to carry shoes, because now you got to get rid of all the boxes and you got to carry them in bags because they take up way too much room in the car. And so when you get a hotel, you got to unload all this stuff out of the car, and it's so much easier when it's in rolling bags, and you don't always get floor level with your car parking in front. So when you get a hotel, and then your next option is to have to sleep in the car when you can't get hotels because they're all booked out, um, or it's an odd time of the day or night. You have to have room to sleep in the car. But other than that, uh, I started having so much trouble with my back and stuff. And I was, doing chiropractors all over the states, and I had chiropractor in every state I went to. Always carried a cane in the car because sometimes I'd have to walk with a cane. And then one time I was working in Huntsville, and I ended up out of work for about 2 weeks because I was just like laying down. My friends had a house. I had a bedroom over there. I had keys to people's houses all across the states, so I always had a free place to stay, pretty much. And they always welcomed me, and it was for as long as I felt like it. And so it was always a lot of fun. But I was at Debbie and Jerry's house, which Jerry was also my personal mechanic for my cars. He was fantastic. Both of them are deceased now, but anyway. And so I was down for like 2 weeks. It was horrible. And I mean, it got to the point where I couldn't even get up to walk to take a bath. So, I had called my dad, and we were talking, and he said, well, what about your stock? Maybe it's your stock that's the problem. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no, 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 no. He's like, you know, what's your run stock set up like? And I told him, I said, well, I said, it's, I've got like 32-inch bags or something, 31 or 32s, I think it was. And I had, like five of them, and then one small bag, and then a backup run stock and a hefty bag pushed way back in the trunk. That way I could reload. And so I always just put everything I could in the car for a trip so I wouldn't run out of clothes. So anyway, he said, well, have you thought about reducing the size of your bags? I'm like, well, how am I going to do that? I would run out of clothes. And he's like, I think that might be the problem with your bag. Well, guess what? He was right. It was way too much weight for me lifting them out of the cars when I didn't have loaders and unloaders. Back in the day, all the clubs had the doorman, and the manager would send the doorman out with you to escort you in and out and load all your stock. I mean, all I had to do was get my pocketbook. It was really nice. And I tipped those guys, before and after, and they always waited on me, and they'd go get me dinner if I wanted dinner, or, Cokes from the bar. I mean, they treated me like gold. But, as things progressed, the doormen were not educated anymore to service people like me. And I pay a huge amount of house in each club to sell there. It's just like selling on eBay. You got to pay a house. Um, it's just one of those things. So I ended up reducing my bags, cutting the size down. And I dropped down to like a 27. And then I later dropped down to, I think, a 24. And I started, having different bags for different things, long, short gowns, two pieces, then multi pieces, some, makeup and jewelry, and kind of doing that way. Because, when I go into clubs, like, I go in first to see if there's any business, and then two, what the girls are looking for. If they say, hey, I need a dress, or, whatever, then, I'll bring that in. And I leave the rest of the stuff in the car because I figure it's probably going to be a short run. And so Anyway, I did so much better. So here's the thing that I'm thinking with the girl with the books. It's the weight factor. It's packing the stuff up, putting it in the car, taking it to the post office, and carrying all these heavy bags with these books in there to ship out instead of having the service come to you and pick it up at your house. I don't know. She's not in the USA. So in the USA, you can call UPS or the post office come pick up your items, and the postmen love it, especially if you have a lot of them, because they get bonuses for how many packages they handle. I don't know if you knew that or not, but that's true. So, but where she's at, they probably don't. Well, I'll bet you that's what her problem is. Why she's in pain with her hip and this, that, and the other. And two, once it's past being a hobby, she keeps listing all this stuff. She's like, I'm almost at the 5,000 mark. 5,000 ads on eBay. You know, well, yeah, that's great for the big time dudes that've been around for a while, and they're making 5 mil a year. Um, but I mean, they're paying people to work for them. Don't think they're doing all that stuff themselves because they're not. Okay, so um, you know, I mean, that's the next problem. She needs to hire somebody. She wants to continue with that. It's just too much work for her, and it's beyond hobby now. It's a job. But don't think it guarantees you sales. They've been saying this for months and months and months. Oh, you got to list every day because it guarantees sales. Well, it doesn't. I promise you it doesn't. As soon as I started deleting ads up to the renewal time, whether it was 4 ads a day or 10 ads a day that were getting ready to expire, I would just end them. Okay? I would end it. And I would keep ending them because otherwise it goes to my bank account and bills me, every couple days for those renewals. And then all my sales are like invisible. I sold $100 comic book. I sold shoes, for almost $100. I sold this. I sold that, here and there. And I sold more stuff as I was deleting ads than I ever did in the past year. Okay, it was the craziest thing. I was getting more orders as I deleting ads every day. So don't tell me you have to do listings every single day, new listings in order to sell. And they're like, well, if you list one every day for a year, then the next year you'll sell one every day. I don't believe that. And why would you want to sell one every day? I want to sell more than that. And I remember, back in the early 2000s, my daughter and I used to sit and watch the computer. And then we'd watch eBay and then we'd watch Amazon. And Amazon, you can literally see the customer put it in their basket. And then you can watch it as it checks out. And then the order is sent to you. You can literally see that on a computer. It is amazing. And I was doing 5K a week in sales. Okay. It was amazing in the early 2000s. Um, but I mean, it's not like that now. And I do not believe that listing every day is going to get you sales. I don't believe it because I got more sales deleting ads by ending them before the renewal time. Because your money just disappears. Whatever you sell, it's just going to be all used up. Because if they don't deduct it before it hits the bank, when it does hit the bank, then eBay is chasing them down to bill you for those ads renewing. So 250 ads isn't a lot of ads, really. But then again, it is. If it's 250 items and not selling, now I mark down every single day. Every single day I do markdowns. I'll drop it $1. I'll drop it $1. Because it's hard to find the market today. You used to be able to tell the market easy back in the day. And you could beat everybody on the block. Now it's hard to tell what the market is. So you just have to, even on the solds and all that, you just have to, work it, work it, work it. People are like, oh, you're playing on your phone. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm working. I am working. Once I've left work, I'm still working. So, because it's got to move. It can't just sit there because you're paying 30 cents a month for one ad. And every time that ad rolls around, you're deducting 30 cents off your sale price till it gets to like nothing. So get it gone. You know what I mean? So no, I disagree with listing every day, and that girl with the book thing and all that. That's such a bad investment. You know, like I say, there's people that did it and made millions, and they're not doing it now. They had a big YouTube blog about that, and is how they made so much money and all that. They're not doing it anymore because Amazon started turning them down, and they didn't have room to stock it. They didn't have room in their house because then they started having books take over the whole house. You know, I have to have a really big house to house all my retail and me. Okay. And right now I'm fighting storages to try to get stuff sold to reduce all my retail inventory so that uh, it's not costing me so much money to babysit it because that's my wallet sitting in all the storages, not a bunch of other stuff. I have very little personal stuff. Okay. Everything else is commercial retail. And, you know, no matter how you look at it, I'm paying, you know, 1,000 a month. So, just to store all the stuff. So, um, you know, and it was a shame because I didn't get to open my storefront this month, and that was the whole game plan, which I would have saved so much money. But it's okay. That's something else for another day. I'm not going to move it again real soon. Maybe in the next 30 days I might think about it, but not right this minute. But yeah, so you know, if you're thinking about, you know, this listing every day, thanks for the thumbs up, you guys. I'm telling you, it's worthless. It's just 100% worthless. I absolutely disagree, completely and totally disagree with you. It's a big no go for me. So, um, you know, if you, um, why does it look like my internet froze? If you, you know, are depending on that, you know, you're just throwing your money away. And any new eBayer can't afford that. The whole idea is to get on there to make money, not to pay eBay. So, um, you have to make that decision. Um, you know, all of a sudden the other day, one of my friends on YouTube out of California, it's a reseller, did started a vlog of you don't have to have, you know, thousands of stuff, and you can just make a store on 250 items. No duh, no duh, because um, uh, you know, it's going to be that or nothing. Because I'm telling you, I just went from like 800 ads, and I'm back down to like 271 right now, and I've sold more, you know, ending those ads and not letting them renew, which they're still there. I can put them back up, but I just started clipping them all because I just was tired of paying, you know, every 2 or 3 days, and then whatever I sold was just going into, you know, my commercial account, and it's just deducting, deducting, deducting. So I'm not able to touch the money. Um, so you know, to me, no, it's not worth it. The whole idea is get it sold. So that's another reason why I'm on Whatnot too, is to try to move stock out. The problem with Whatnot is if you don't get enough followers, you're getting everybody else that's trying to get on Whatnot as a seller, and then a bunch of kids that want to buy everything for $1, and I'm not selling it for $1 because all you get paid is 30 cents. It's the same as eBay. Really, they're charging us very same as eBay, and a lot of people say they're not, but they are. You got to read the fine print. They are charging the same as eBay to sell on there, basically. So, um, you know, you just, you know, you have to decide. Well, first of all, don't sell anything for $1 because all you're going to get paid is 30 cents on Whatnot. You're a fool if you start at $1 unless you have a really good following and you know people are going to bid away on that stuff and go crazy. Um, So you just kind of have to ease it up and you have to try different categories and different things. So I have lots of different stuff I sell. Waller's kid accessories line, my children's line. Um, and like right now, children's clothes is just not doing a darn thing, especially on eBay. It's like such a waste. I don't care if you list it one by one or in bulk. It just doesn't go anywhere, used or new. Um, but You know, you just have to see what's there for you. You know, handmade stuff is going real well. Used clothes is a big market right now on any platform. Amazingly enough, it is really odd. But it is huge used clothing right now. Um, there's Chris Lind on YouTube, Daily Refinement. He's also on Whatnot. He used to be Big eBay, and he's out of Upper California, San Jose area. And let me tell you, California used clothes are really expensive in the stores over there. I mean, massively expensive. And I mean, you're talking like $20 for a pair of jeans, 15, 20 for a shirt. And then, if you're doing a resale thing like on eBay, you can only add about $5 to that and pray that it sells. Um, but, if you have a way to get bulk, like he's got people that are bringing him stuff from other states and they'll come bring a whole load of stuff that they picked at Salvation Army or whatever. And they'll drive the whole load down and he like gives them, $1,000 for all the items because they picked to his specs, and then he turns around and runs it out, and they sell it for $1 bids because it goes crazy because he's got a huge following that followed him to Whatnot. So it's rarely ever going to sell for $1. It just looks exciting, but yeah. So I absolutely disagree. Um, you're not making any money that you're just going to keep paying it out in ads and keep making more ads and more ads. I was doing that. There's some days I put 100 listings up. You know, it wasn't doing me any good. Not at all. I mean, I might get 3 or 4 sales a month. I got more sales when I started stopping ads from renewing at the deadline, on that day. Whatever I had, if I had 4 listings or 10 listings or 20 listings that were getting ready to expire that day, I would just hit end, 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 end. So it wouldn't renew and I wasn't going to get charged. And I was selling stuff every day. So yeah, I disagree. If you've got to have a way to make money, you know, um, you can't just keep paying eBay. So yeah. So tell me your thoughts below because I'm telling you that it's bogus. Um, I'm still selling. Yep, and I'm not listing every day. So I'm marking down every day. There's some stuff that is not selling, and I'm just replacing that ad with another product in that ad because it's already paid for. Um, and just kind of doing that right now. I have not renewed all those other listings yet because I don't want to go too far with that. I really don't. Because it just costs me money. So, so yeah. But yeah, uh, I hope you guys have a great day. And um, if you have any eBay questions, you're welcome to ask me right here. Otherwise, I'm going to end it here and let's hear what everybody has to say as far as a seller or a buyer on the comment section below. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for dropping by, and you have the best day. And do something kind for a stranger. I love you.